What's the tempo?
1, 2, 1, 2, overtime.
You got my heart working overtime. I let you in, let you cross the line. You want my trust before you have to try. Give all your love if you wanna keep me. You got my heart working overtime. I let you in, let you cross the line. You want my trust before you have to try. Give all your love if you wanna keep me. You want my heart if you want my trust. Play with my heart, give me all your love. If you want my heart, if you want my trust, don't play with my heart, give me all your love. I'm gonna get right to it. I don't know if we should do this. You into something dangerous. 'Cause I'm little but I'm furious. I better be in the front seat when we cruising down Love Street. Don't waste this opportunity. I'm letting you get close to me. You got my heart working overtime. I let you in, let you cross the line. You want my trust, boy, you have to try. Give all your love if you wanna keep me. You want my heart if you want my trust. Don't play with my heart, give me all your love. If you want my heart, if you want my trust. Don't play with my heart, give me all. I don't know what I'm doing, but ooh, I don't wanna get ruined. Damn, can I get some for something? But just show me you're worth trusting. I'm the prostitute side of me. You know that I'm so sweet. If you want me to slow down, I'm not gonna hang around. You got my heart working overtime. I let you in, let you cross the line. You want my trust, boy, you have to try. Give all your love if you wanna keep me. If you want my heart, if you want my trust, don't play with my heart, give me all your love. If you want my heart, if you want my trust, don't play with my heart, give me all your love.
I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, people, come on, we're adults here.
You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay. Next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip flops. These are my flip flops. Yeah, I really like my flip flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl that like going
That
and
is
getting
the
her hair
best
done
shit
and,
fucking
shopping for
ever.
dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the feet.
Shout out to Cherry for just being just easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had, man. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. Good evening, people. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look at you all, man. Look at y'all. All up in here talking about, we missed you, Will. Oh my God. It's been forever. No, it hasn't. I was literally live yesterday morning, bro, for like 6 hours. I was literally live like for 6 hours yesterday, yo. Like, what are you talking about? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Like, we're hanging out right now. Right now. Knock it off. I'm just kidding. Sorry. No, like I totally feel what you're talking about too, because like I woke up today and I was like, now what? What the fuck? What do I do now? You know? But I also realized that I was like, I don't have to do shit right now. I could do whatever the fuck I want at, you know, and go live whenever the fuck I feel like it today. Because there is stuff that I'd like to talk about. But yeah, oh my God, wait, what?
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we.
Sherry D, St. Louis in the house, right on. Thank you so much. Hell yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, so right, trial no mas, no more trial. At least for now. Because if Lally is not lying, well then it'll just be a matter of months before we're doing it all over again. And yeah, but here's the thing is there's other stuff that happened like yesterday that I really didn't go over much at all, but I'm gonna go over. And did I check my fuck? God damn, dude, why are you always yelling at me, man? See how she treats me, dude? Okay. Oh, look. Oh, Cherry did something. Cool. Thank you, Cherry. Happy birthday. So yeah. So yesterday, we were all here and we watched as this jury was unable to reach a verdict. They were unable to unanimously reach a verdict, which is good that it was not unanimously a guilty verdict. That's good. But it's also mind-boggling that they didn't unanimously reach a not guilty verdict. And I'll tell you, like it's mind-boggling and it's irritating. It's irritating because, you know, we want this to just be over for Karen. You know what I mean? We want her and her family to be able to just move on from this. Absolutely. And that's basically oh my God.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
William Lafferty, thank you so much. Free Karen Read season 2. Accurate. This is Free Karen Read season 2. Absolutely in effect. In fucking full effect. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. That was a Reggie in the Full Effect reference. If you guys never listened to Reggie in the Full Effect, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah. So yeah, definitely season 2 of Free Karen Read, where the show should just be fucking canceled already. Hello. But we're here anyway. And I'm here, man. I'm here until a judge says, Karen Reed, you are free to go. Have a nice life. Best of luck to you. I'm here. So now, yeah, a lot of stuff we didn't go over, but the thing is another reason why it's really annoying, besides the obvious, why it's really annoying and irritating that they did not unanimously reach a not guilty verdict, is because it only gives these willfully ignorant morons more to fucking talk shit about. And yeah. So I love this. Hold on. I love this. This is a comment on X. So somebody has a Twitter handle of just their first name, no capitalization. This is a Twitter. This is someone watching on Twitter. No real handle, nothing creative, just Eric. Not even any capitalization, no photo in the avatar, absolutely nothing. And then wants to basically like talk about loser bloggers in their mom's basement. Like, you realize that there's, the origin of this comment based on your handle, based on your avatar or lack thereof, just tells us all that you're in your mom's basement. Like, I'm not in my mom's basement, but you're in your mom's basement, or grandmother's, or auntie's, because your grandmother and mom have already gotten sick of you, and there was nobody but auntie douchebag to take you in. So but welcome. You're more than welcome here, because we know you're lonely. Because I mean, who else? I mean, I'm happy to provide you with visual aid while you rub yourself with horseradish and masturbate furiously and try not to get any horseradish in your eye as you do so. You're more than welcome to hang out. Now, so there's many things that happened yesterday. Well, a few things. Let's just call it a few things. And one of those things was that there was someone who tried to escape during this hearing yesterday, which is fascinating. And yeah, there's a few things we're going to go over. But yeah, there's let's go over this escapee real quick, because that's fascinating. Let's go over this escapee real quick, because this is really bizarre. I just saw, and this normally I like to react to things, so this is the first time I'm watching it. And so, I mean,
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Jessica Foley Law says, my son jumped out of the car at camp saying Karen Reed didn't do it, and they should watch you, meaning me. Awesome. And Turtle Boy and TLYK. I'm really bad with acronyms. He loves your avatar. Thank you. Right on. I appreciate it. I hope your son is at camp. I'm old enough to watch this, 18 and older. Okay, that's where I hope your son is at camp. Camp. I'm old enough to watch The Glarer. People with their kids watching this channel, man, driving me crazy. Driving me crazy. The lawyer, you know. Okay, cool. Y'all are driving me nuts with your kids watching this channel. It's bizarre. but I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate you. Cherry's not wrong. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. All right. Let me put this up on the screen. I haven't seen this yet, but I posted it, and the only reason I posted it, like I reposted it on my Twitter, the only reason I reposted it was so that I could find it easily and I wouldn't sit here going, hold on, because we don't have, like, we're not waiting for court, so there's not a whole lot of time to kill. I'm not going to be here for 6 hours or 8 hours. So yeah, I wanted to have it ready. This is so not a family show. This is so not a family show. All right, let's see what this is all about. I love how the bicycle cops.
I think someone ran out of the courthouse.
The bicycle cops are like, we don't need to waste gas. Let's deploy the bikes. Deploy the Schwinn. Deploy the Schwinn unit. Look, oh man. That's it? Okay. All right. Let's watch it one more time. Why not?
I think someone ran out of the courthouse.
You heard that dude, though? That dude was like, I think someone ran out of the courthouse. Like, I mean, maybe that was just Michael Morrissey decided to, you know, go for a jog. Because, you know, that happens in real life. Michael Morrissey jogging. You know, that's real. You know, that happened. And then, of course, there's this. They NBC 10 was incredibly proactive because this has never happened before. I love how it took. How ironic. How ironic. Now, let me just go ahead and play this so you guys, maybe you guys can guess where I'm going with this. But this is fascinating.
They told us he's still employed. And for Proctor, Kathy Curran from NBC 10, we'd like to ask you some questions. Do you think your actions impacted the outcome of the trial?
Get off of our lawn.
I'm not on your lawn. I'm on the street. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I fully support my husband. Karen Reed is a murderer.
You support your husband? And you heard it there. His wife fully supports him and called Karen Reed a murderer. Testimony in the case showed Proctor was familiar with witnesses in this case. We reached out to state police about Proctor's current status with the department. They told us he's still employed and had no further comment at this time. Kathy Curran, NBC for Proctor. Kathy, 10.
All right, let's
We'd
watch it
like
one
to
more
ask
time.
you some questions. Do you
He
think
said,
your
"Get the-"
actions impacted the outcome?
He said, "Get
Kathy
the fuck
Curran
off my
from
lawn."
NBC 10. We'd like to ask you some questions. Do you think your actions impacted the outcome of the trial?
Get off of our lawn. Right?
I'm not on your lawn. I'm on the street. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I fully support my husband. Karen Reed is a murderer.
You support your husband?
Now, I don't support it happening. Okay, quiet. I don't support this happening. I support what just happened. I don't want to misunderstand. I don't support this happening, what I'm about to say, but wouldn't it be crazy if, like, they slapped Boston, that news reporter from Boston 10 with an intimidation statute or with an intimidation charge? I mean, wouldn't that be interesting? Because because that's about the extent of what Turtle Boy did. I mean, that's about the extent. But it's fascinating. It's fascinating though that this happened. That NBC 10 had the foresight to do this, like the same breath that Judge Bev called a mistrial. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that no mainstream media did any of this, considering all of the public information as to how the investigation was conducted. I mean, we're talking about a deceased Boston police officer, yet no mainstream media had the inclination at all, at any point whatsoever, to knock on Detective Proctor's door and ask, hey, do you think maybe you should have logged certain things into evidence? Do you think that's going to hurt Karen Reed's chances in court? Hey, Trooper Proctor, you were the lead investigator in the Karen Reed investigation into the death of John O'Keefe, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Do you have anything to say about the allegations that you planted taillight pieces? Do you have anything to say? Can you do you have any explanation for the reason why you waited days, sometimes weeks, and sometimes months before interviewing anyone else for what happened on the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022? I mean, no mainstream media at any point had the inclination to do this, had the foresight to do this. Now they do it. Why? Because he said misogynistic things in a text message? Because I get that that's a problem. But see, here's my problem. My problem is it's not any worse. Now it's bad. And I'm not saying that it's that what Trooper Proctor said about Karen Reed and did so via text message to his supervisors and to his coworkers. I'm not saying that is any less of a problem than what it's being made out to be. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the other things that went wrong with this investigation are just as bad, because we're talking about the investigation of an innocent man who happened to be a Boston police officer. Why weren't these kind of questions merited? Why did it take Turtle Boy to be the only one to do this. And I mean the only one to do these things. Why did it take him to do that? And then on top of it, get charged with crimes for doing so, and then get thrown in jail by a known liar who we know colluded with Brian Tully and Ken Mello in order to get him on a violation of his bail. I mean, why? And now, because what he said, because he said offensive things, that's what it takes. That's the country that we live in right now, huh? It's not that he didn't do his due diligence to get justice for a fallen Boston police officer and his loved ones, to get justice for them. It's not like that's, you know, bad enough. What it takes for mainstream news media to actually ask hard questions and confront this person is for him to say offensive things. That's the country that we live in. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. I understand. Right. And his supervisors on the group text chat. I agree, Microdots. I find that very interesting that this wasn't enough, that him conducting a faulty, because it's not like we found out in trial that he conducted a shitty investigation. We all knew it. Everyone who's been following this case before the trial started knew this. Everyone did. Anyone who did any type of their own research, independent research whatsoever, found this out. Broken Arrow, thank you so much for the PayPal. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. See, that's what really bothers me. Because yes, I have a real problem with the things that he said about Karen Reed. I have a real problem with that. You know? But for some reason, it's not mainstream newsworthy to point out the fact that the Massachusetts State Police have bungled an investigation into the death of a Boston police officer, and did literally everything wrong, because we were aware of an abundance of problems with this investigation long before this trial started. We were all aware. So why is mainstream media think that only him saying offensive things is mainstream media newsworthy? Why do they think that that's all you need to know about? See, that's a real problem to me. That's a real problem to me. And the issue, and this is going to bother some people, but see, I'm a realist and I understand things a little bit better than people will give me credit for, because people are sitting there going, yeah, mainstream media, they should just do so. Well, the thing is mainstream media is like any other company that produces a product, right? If there's no demand for that product, well, then what do? You provide them with another product. You read your demographic, and you find out what it is that they want. You find out what it is that they're consuming, and then you provide them with a better version of what they're consuming. That's all there is. That's all that is. This Boston 10 local news media conglomerate, well, they're a local news station, but they have sponsors. And they only stay on the air because of the commercials that you see when they take breaks. Because you're not watching Boston 10 with commercials. What you're actually watching are commercials with Boston 10. That's it. That's what it boils down to. So basically, they have to. It's a supply and demand issue. There's a low standard in the public for what they consume. They don't feel that the public cares about the fact that there is an absolutely fucked up investigation into the death of a Boston police officer. An absolutely, completely fucked from the word go investigation. They don't think that that is something that you find newsworthy. Right? So, I mean, so who here? Because the fact of the matter is those of you that are in the chat, most of you guys that are here, you agree with me, right? But the problem is we're the minority. We are the minority. Even though we commiserate with each other, we have conversations, we hang out with each other. This is our world. This is all we really know. We don't buy into that other shit. Right? But that other shit is happening whether we like it or not. Even though we hide from it, even though we want to surround ourselves with the type of people who think on a similar level, who think similarly, right? Even though we do that, in doing so, we can forget, because I do from time to time, that there's a whole fucking world out there with really bad taste, low morals, and low standards for what they think is newsworthy, because they don't care. They don't really care. These true crime fans, so-called, they don't care that there's a fucked up investigation. They don't care that the Massachusetts State Police and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office did not give a fuck about getting justice for a brother in blue. That's not newsworthy to them. What's newsworthy to them is that there was there was a Massachusetts State Police officer who used the word balloon knot to describe a body part of a woman, or used or said things like she had no ass, because that's spicy. That makes people go, ooh, what? And it's wild, man. It's wild, because the last couple of weeks of trial, there were so many people in my chat, new people in my chat, who didn't know anything about the case. I mean, think about it. I'll bet you there's a bunch of you here, and I won't put you on the spot by putting up a poll or asking you to type a 1 or anything like that. But I'll bet you a lot of you new folks here are only got the attention of this case. Like the attention grabbed your case only because of all of the chitter chatter that was created based on the fact that this guy said what he said about a woman on the stand. Right? I mean, let's just face it. Thank you so much. They're not hype chasers. They're it's about money. They're selling a product. That's it. The demand for the product. This is what I'm saying is people who claim to be true crime junkies. The majority of them don't actually give a fuck about the facts. I mean, it's wild. It's wild, but it's the truth. They don't really care about the facts. They care about the drama that comes with it. Because the thing is when you think about it, there wasn't a whole lot of drama that attracts the general true crime demographic. There really wasn't. There wasn't a whole lot of drama with this case. There was just some shady, weird shit. And it caught a lot of attention, don't get me wrong, but it didn't catch Barry Morphew and Suzanne Morphew kind of attention. You know? It didn't catch Sebastian Rogers kind of attention. At least not on YouTube. You know? Because, you know, the O'Keefes and the Reeds weren't going on social media and going on different platforms and talking shit about each other and having WWE style promos, trash talking each other. They didn't have that. They didn't do that. Right? So there wasn't any of that. There was a lot of crazy, interesting shit about this case. A lot. But not Lifetime movie stuff. And that's what sells. That's what sells. And that's why it's so important that all of you have done what you've done. Why Turtle Boy doing what he did was so important. Why people who follow Turtle Boy doing what they've done as far as spreading his blogs and his posts and his videos, that's absolutely necessary. Because otherwise, people wouldn't have been informed. People wouldn't have been informed. Karen Reed would never have had the support that she has. That never would have happened. Because this case, if anything, is a lesson as to how important your voice is. How important your First Amendment rights are. This case, if nothing else, is a lesson as to how you cannot trust mainstream media to give you all of the facts. Now, I'm not saying this from the perspective of a paranoid person who's just like, oh man, mainstream media, they're in on the whole thing, man, and the government, blah, blah, blah. That's not where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is a simple fact. There's a supply and demand issue. And the problem is until there's more people like you who give a fuck about the death of a Boston police officer and a thorough investigation and sound investigation by qualified investigators taking place, unless everyone else has the same demand for this as you do, this is not going to change. It's just not going to change. Now, you might think of this as bad news. It's not. It's good news because, again, it's a lesson. It's a lesson because everybody here got to see that your voice actually does matter. You know how people say your voice doesn't really matter? It's all media. It's whatever the media is talking about. That's not what happened here. In this case proved that theory wrong. This case where it says, your voice doesn't mean anything. Who the fuck are you? You're nobody. But this case proved that wrong. Because it wasn't mainstream media that spread awareness on this case. Did they cover the case? Yeah, but what did they talk about the whole time? They talked about Karen Reed and they went over all of these different aspects. They would go, well, you know, the taillight, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And then they would say, or is she the victim of a cover-up? Or is she the victim of a cover-up? Or is she the victim of a cover-up? You see what I'm saying? And then they leave it at that. They leave it at that. The only way you were going to find out, was to do your own digging or to listen to Turtle Boy. Now, I choose to wait to listen to Turtle Boy because there was a lot of information that was available as far as court documents. There was a lot. You know? And then I was like, all right, it's time for me to talk to Turtle Boy. once I started looking into this stuff. Then I started looking at Turtle Boy, and then I was like, yeah, it's time for me to talk to this guy. I need to talk to this guy because this shit is fucking crazy. Mike D, thank you. Just wanted you to know you're highly appreciated by this side. Keep it up. Please keep it up. Thank you, Mike D. Double up with the bill, most definitely. So I I know. I saw it happen. I saw it fucking happen. I saw people not dependent at all on mainstream media. We laughed at it for the most part. We laughed at it. We laughed at Court TV going, Jesus, dude. Are these people fucking for real? Like, we laughed. Because there was you could not rely on them for the facts. Because what happened? How much, think about that. How much of the stuff that we were that became public during the, well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't word it like that. How many bombshells did the defense drop during cross-examinations throughout this trial, where so many of us were like, oh, here it is. Here it is. How many times did you hear me, or if you were watching Turtle Boy, or you were watching Melanie Little, or you were watching Sean on the Golf, or you were watching Dylan going, and you know what they're getting at, and you go, oh shit. Are they about to bring up the text messages? Oh shit. Is this going to be the 227? Oh shit. Are they going to bring up the health data? Oh shit. Like, before it even happens, before the defense brings it up. Why? Because we were privy to all of this stuff prior. But we didn't hear about it on the news. We didn't hear about it on Law and Crime. We didn't hear about it on Court TV. Yet the same information was available to all of these investigative journalists, right? I mean, they all had access and the ability to obtain that same information that we had. Did they not? So why didn't they talk about it? This free care and read movement, despite all of the trash talking and being made out to be like it's a cult, I mean, yeah, call me a cult member, that's fine. But make no mistake that I am a cult member of the truth. I am a cult member of justice. I will not be, I am absolutely and totally in love and obsessed with the truth and facts. I worship the truth. Absolutely. Give me the fucking truth Kool-Aid. Every time. Every time. So you can word that shit like that. You could say, oh, well, you're a cult member. You're a Turtle Boy cult member. No. No. I assure you that my personal opinions of Turtle Boy have absolutely nothing to do with the gratitude that I have for him providing us with the information that he's provided us with, and the sacrifices that he's made and the efforts that he's made in order to provide us with that information. That's all anyone need be concerned with. That's you making it personal, not me. You're the cult. Plevin, Kate Peter, you're the cult. You guys are the only ones here obsessed with Turtle Boy. Everyone else just appreciates the stuff that he's provided. Do we like him? Sure, of course. But nobody here worships Turtle Boy. Except you. Except you. Don't think it can't happen to you, little Irish girl. We are Karen Reed. I agree. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Think about it. Think about it. Every decision that you make, every bit of drive that you have had to try to make Karen Reed be guilty make any sense stems from your hatred for this man. You are obsessed with Turtle Boy. Not anyone here. Nobody here. It just so happens that Turtle Boy was the only one with the balls to go out and investigate for the truth and dig for the truth and put his ass on the line for the truth at the risk of alienating people because he's going to scrutinize law enforcement alumni. And I mean, the fact that he did this and you're so angry about it because the facts don't lie. The defense showed proof behind everything that they did. Everything. They showed proof. They proved to the jury that there is, in fact, a cover-up. And I'm telling you right now, like, you want to make me out to believe, that Turtle Boy being in the courtroom somehow intimidated all these witnesses this whole time or intimidated the jury in some way by being in the courtroom. No, because I would guarantee that there are going to be people during jury selection. There was probably a question, I would imagine. Do you know who the blogger Turtle Boy is? I would imagine. So there's that. But then, see, that's the thing is the fact that the prosecution failed, and I cannot emphasize that word enough. I mean, failed to even present a credible, solid case against Karen Reed. That, along with the fact that there's nothing but doubt, and I mean everything. I could name any. I could find reasonable doubt in anything that you think is solid proof against Karen Reed. I could create doubt. It's easy because there's no evidence, and as a matter of fact, the fact that there's an independent federal investigation into the way that this investigation was conducted by Michael Morrissey's office, Michael Morrissey's Norfolk County District Attorney's office. The fact that there's a federal investigation into that investigation tells me a whole lot. Tells me a whole lot. And the fact that they subpoenaed witnesses, never prepped them, never even prepped them, but subpoenaed witnesses that testified, witnesses that have done work for NASA, witnesses that were hired independently by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice, witnesses that were clearly experts to the experts. Who say definitively Karen Reed did not hit John O'Keefe with her vehicle. Why? Because John O'Keefe was not struck by a vehicle, much less Karen Reed's. That's it. That's enough for me. Besides all of the doubt that I had, that solidified it. right there. Why do you think that the defense didn't even bring up a bunch of their own witnesses that they already had ready to call? Why do you think they never even did that? There was no need. There was no need. That was it. So the fact that I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart that there couldn't have been more than 2 people on that jury that believed Karen Reed was guilty, because the facts dictate that she's innocent. And the law dictates that they are to only reach a conclusion based on the facts. And since Judge Bev ordered Tui Rodriguez instructions, since she did that, I'm of the belief that they fully understood this. And I'm of the belief that that deadlock was there because somebody was intimidated. And the reason why I think that that somebody was intimidated was because on the one day of jury instruction, the very first day before deliberations, the very first day was the only day that Brian Albert, Colin Albert, Jen McCabe, and Carrie Roberts decided to show up to court and sit in the gallery behind the O'Keefes, facing the jury at their 12 o'clock. Now, I'm not making an accusation because I don't know, but I'm saying if I were to speculate, it sure fucking looks like that was what was going on, doesn't it? That's all I'm saying. It sure fucking looks a lot like it. So you're not going to sit here on top of everything else that we know about this investigation, on top of everything else that we know about the McAlberts and everything that they've said and everything that they've lied about and everything that they've done that's shady. All of these things, between the butt dials, between the deletions on the text, between the group text calling him the guy and saying what to actually say and reporting the fact that there are stuff going on the lawn. The fact that there was a half-ass investigation done at best before they reached the conclusion that Karen Reed was responsible for this, not even counting the Sally Port. All of these things tell me that it's okay for me to speculate that those 4 assholes were sitting in that gallery behind Paul O'Keefe, facing that jury for a fucking reason. Because I can't think of any other logical reason why that jury would never have been unanimous as to that she's not guilty. It doesn't make sense. That's why I'm frustrated. Carrie Murphy, thank you. Amen. Well, I am with you 1,000%. Come on, right? Why would I not think that? How am I supposed to forget every other aspect of this case? I mean, before this trial started, all these people sitting on the stand did was solidify my theories on them. That's all it did. Watching Brian Albert sit there with his stone cold eyes was exactly how I would imagine a human being who was capable of the things that it sure as shit looked like he did to look like. And sure enough, he fucking lied while he sat on the stand. All of them did. Colin Albert did. Chris Albert did. Nicole Albert did. Julie Albert did. Everyone sat there on that stand and fucking lied. I mean, okay, I thought about that. That's part of it, but I don't believe that's the whole thing, because if they wanted the jury to know O'Keefe's family sides with them, then what they would have done is they would have shown up throughout the trial sitting in that gallery as their guests, as their support. Why wouldn't they? That one day, and it being that particular day during initial jury instructions being read by Judge Bev, tells me that it was more than just that. Tells me that it was intimidation. That's what it feels like to me. And I don't understand what Lally expects to accomplish by retrying this case. Because the thing is what's really fascinating, and I talked about this yesterday, is the fact that there was so much evidence, so much exculpatory evidence that the defense never even went over. They didn't even address it. The whole time we were sitting there going, oh my God, I can't wait till dude, like, how many times did you guys hear me say, while the prosecution was presenting their weak ass fucking case, how many times did you hear me say watching this trial, dude, the defense hasn't even started their case yet. The prosecution is presenting the defense's case for them. The defense hasn't even gotten to the point to where they're presenting their case yet. We're only a couple of weeks into the trial. We're only 1 week into the trial. We're only 2 weeks into the trial. We're only 3 weeks into the trial. We're only 4 weeks into the trial. And I'm sitting here going, I'm telling you, like, the defense hasn't even started presenting their case yet. And it was a lock then. There was so much reasonable doubt already. I am not going to sit here and be gaslit as to, and not by court TV, not by fucking anybody, because I'm telling you, if the justice system works the way that we're supposed to, that it's supposed to work, if my social studies civics class was telling me the truth, then there's no fucking reason why that should not have been a unanimous not guilty verdict, other than somebody was intimidated. So I also posted via Ted Daniels, there was this statement by Alan Jackson, and it says here, breaking, I just spoke to Karen Reed's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, who provided the statement about Trooper Michael Proctor. Now, for those of you who don't know, Trooper Michael Proctor has been relieved of his duties. Actually, before I read that, let me just real quick. Let me read this first. All right. So this is a statement from Colonel Maughan of the Massachusetts State Police. And it says here, following the mistrial in Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, the Massachusetts State Police would like to offer our condolences again to the family of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. We cannot imagine the way in which this result has heightened the O'Keefe family's immeasurable grief, heartache, and sense of loss. John lived a life of honorable service, both to the city of Boston and the children entrusted to his care after the unexpected death of his sister and brother-in-law. We will remember him. Upon learning today's result, the department took immediate action to relieve Trooper Michael Proctor of duty and formally transfer him out of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office State Police Detectives Unit. This follows our previous decision to open an internal affairs investigation after information about serious misconduct emerged in testimony at the trial. This investigation is ongoing. Our focus remains on delivering the highest level of police services with professionalism and integrity. Now, how do you expect us to take that, Colonel Mon? Let me ask you, how do you expect us to take that? Do you expect us to be like, oh, well, that's nice. Look at the Massachusetts State Police doing something? Because here's the problem. The problem with this is, why didn't the Massachusetts State Police know that there was something seriously wrong with the investigation to begin with? That's what you need to be answering for, not what was said in trial. Okay, that's something else that needs to be answered for sure. Needs to be answered for sure. But what needs to really be answered for is, why was the investigation into a Boston police officer done so poorly? Because you knew about it before the trial started. You knew exactly what was going on before the trial started. Don't tell me you didn't, because several members of the Massachusetts State Police were involved in how shitty this investigation was. It happened right under your nose. You're accountable. Okay? You're accountable. It's your house. It's your house. You don't know what's going on in your house? You expect us to believe that you don't know what's going on in your house? Oh my God, after what came to light in the trial, whoa, no. Like, you knew about this, and we're not stupid. We know you knew about it. Everyone here knew about it too. So if we knew about it, then it is only logical that we assume that you knew about it too, because it happened right under your nose. It's your house. So, I mean, now all of a sudden, the action that you take is to transfer him. Because that's the problem that we all have. Yes, we think that it's a fireable offense, absolutely, to say the things that he did in a group text message with his supervisors, and those supervisors aren't being reprimanded in any way. Shouldn't they be held accountable since he was their subordinate and they didn't call him out? They didn't correct him. They didn't say anything in those text messages to reprimand him verbally, a warning. Hey, man, that's not okay. That's completely unprofessional. Blah, 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 blah. So tell us you picked a fall guy to fall on his sword without telling us that you picked a fall guy to fall on his sword. Let's get real here. And he's not even fallen on his sword. He's stubbing his toe at best. I mean, what do you expect us to think here? All of a sudden we're like, oh, cool. Man, that womanizing, incompetent and shady, and one of the worst examples of a corrupt cop that I've ever seen. Thank goodness he's not going to be doing that in Canton, but somewhere else. Cool. I feel better because he's going to just, he's going to get to do that somewhere else. Because that sounds familiar. See, this method of problem solving, it brings back a little memory that involves Boston. As a matter of fact, thank you. The MSP union letter is a slap in the face of justice, period. I agree. Thank you so much. And Luna's mom, member for 6 months, right on. Talk about the 3-card Monty. Totally. You all remember another little scandal where this seemed to be the issue that took place in Boston quite a bit. Does anybody know what it was? Anybody know? Anybody remember a certain organization that was just, and how they handled it was to transfer the priest with these accusations after an internal investigation and move them to another church where there are more kids. I mean, you expect Bostonians to be satisfied with this method of reprimand? I find that interesting. I find that level of cluelessness interesting. Massachusetts State Police. And now there's this. Oh, Carrie McLeod, thank you so much. I appreciate it. There can only be one McLeod.
We begin with breaking news related to the Karen Reed trial. Michael Proctor, the lead state police investigator, has been relieved of his duties effective immediately. During the trial, he drew a lot of criticism for sending inappropriate text messages about Reed, which he shared with friends and colleagues.
And that is just one part of our top story tonight. The news about Proctor.
Now, let's see. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll say, now I haven't watched this yet, okay? But let's see if they discuss the shortcomings of Michael Proctor's investigation.
Coming just hours after a judge declared the murder case against Karen Reed a mistrial. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Priscilla Casper.
I'm Glenn Jones. It became one of the most watched legal battles in Massachusetts. There were 5 days of deliberations, but the jury remained divided, and the judge made the final call today after getting another note from jurors. Take a listen.
To continue to deliberate would be futile and only serve to force us to compromise these deeply held beliefs. I'm not going to do that to you folks. Your service is complete. I'm declaring a mistrial in this case.
It may not have been the result they wanted, but Karen Reed's legal team took the news as a victory.
Meanwhile, still no resolution, no justice for the family of John O'Keefe. Reed remains accused of hitting and killing her boyfriend with her car in 2022. The Boston police officer was found dead outside a party in Canton. Police say she hit him and left him to die in a blizzard. She maintains she didn't do it, and she's being framed by law enforcement.
Even though the trial is technically done, the case is far from over.
The Norfolk County District Attorney's Office says they intend to retry the case. So what does that mean? There will be a second trial. As of right now, the charge.
You see what I'm talking about, man? Look, why don't you fucking people, dude, listen, Boston 10, any other fucking news conglomerate, listen, like, just negotiate with Turtle Boy. That's all you got to do. Just negotiate with him. Because the problem is, you know why they don't do this? They, like, it would fucking kill them. Like, right now they get to say something like, you know, the controversial blogger named Turtle Boy, and they get to write him off, like, with that type of. But see, the thing is I say just cut a deal with him. Just cut him in. Because that's the problem. They can't sit here and discuss all the facts because Turtle Boy is responsible for uncovering them. They don't want to do that. I would love to know whether or not the last-minute juror change affected the outcome of the trial. they could have been one of the holdouts. I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting. I'd like to know too. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure, Luz. And thank you. That's the thing, is they would have to, like, all of the legwork was executed by Turtle Boy. All of the legwork in order to get to get proof of the things that implicate the McAlberts and prove that is exculpatory, even in the court of public opinion. For them to use that, they would have to credit Turtle Boy, and it would kill them to do that, because some of them like him, but others hate him. They hate him. But that shit doesn't matter, because if you have an obligation, if you have an ethical obligation to expose the truth, and you can actually help exonerate an innocent woman, at least in the court of public opinion. If you can do that, because you know she's innocent, if you can do that, then, I mean, you're doing a great thing. But it's just not worth it to them. Like, they'll never do that. They'll never do that. They'll never be like, our under subcontract, our our partner Turtle Boy. They'll just never want to say those words out loud. Thanks to our boots on the ground subcontract investigator Turtle Boy, they'll never want to say those words. But the fact is they have to credit him. You know? Luna's mom, thank you so much. O'Keefe and Reed family should join forces and sue to own the state of Massachusetts. The only justice I see for Officer John O'Keefe is total reform. Wouldn't that be perfect memorialization of Officer John O'Keefe? That would be a beautiful, and in a perfect fucking world, dude, where everybody is holding hands and singing Four Non-Blondes together. I mean, that's great, but that's never ever gonna fucking happen. Especially the fact that the O'Keefes and the Reeds do not get along at all whatsoever. If they were going to get along, they would by now. But I just saw venom coming from Paul O'Keefe walking out of that courtroom saying, allegedly, according to Nick Rocco, and Nick Rocco telling Microdots that that he's not done with her. Paul O'Keefe says that Karen Reed, not done with you. I mean, there's clearly some bad blood there. And I don't know. I don't fucking understand. I don't understand why the O'Keefes are so convinced of Karen Reed's guilt. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. So, but yeah, in a perfect fucking world, Luda's mom, sure. Now, I mean, it's not hard. Like, that's the thing, is like, all I know is that if it was my family member, but that's me though, you know what I mean? Like, this is what we have to keep in mind when it comes to the O'Keefes, is like, you know what you would do, and I know what I would do, but it's not fair for me to say what you would do or what you would do just based on what I would do. You know what I mean? It's just not fair for me to do that. So, you know, but like me, I would be like I would just be sticking to the facts. You know, I wouldn't give a shit what people are saying to me to my face, but I would look at the data. But that's the thing is still these people will not go over. And that's the thing is why not? Because here's the thing, you don't have to give full credit to Turtle Boy. So much of this shit is public record. So many of the documents, why not just go over them? Why not just do a special, okay, why we haven't explored the conspiracy side of this. What's up, Brandy Churchwell? We haven't explored the conspiracy side of this. Let's do a deep dive into that. Why is that okay for me to do that, but for some reason it's a bad look for them to do it? I understand that saying the word fuck and saying the word cunt, is something that they can't do. I get that. But why can't they simply just do like a deep dive and go, okay, as an investigative reporter, they used to do it all the time in mainstream media. We're going to do a deep dive into this. We're going to look at all of these public records, statements and documents and court filings. We're going to look at all of this stuff. We're going to look into everything that's public into this investigation and find everything that's wrong and discuss it and have panel experts to discuss it. Court TV does that. Why didn't they do that with this case? They just had panel experts who just wanted to say that Karen Reed was guilty without actually looking at fucking anything. Luna's mom, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Will, you would never be scammed by Jen McCabe ever. No fucking way. No fucking way. And I heard that Brian LTL, they both posted, Brian LTL and Mazza Media were invited on Court TV and they declined. And I say fucking good on them, dude. I say good on them, man. They stuck to their integrity, dude. I say fucking good on them. Because the truth is I've seen YouTube creators go on Court TV before, man. And I told the both of them in their posts. I told Maz in his chat, and I told LTL in his post. And thank you, little Irish girl. The O'Keefes like being McAlberts too much. They are treated like royalty. That is a fair theory. That's fair. But the thing is, right, this is what I was getting at. And then what turned out to happen was Court TV fucking shared their personal information with people of the opposing side. They doxed them to Plevin or whoever the fuck else they were going to have on the show without telling them. They were basically going to blindside them with people who were going to disagree with them. And that's fine to a certain degree. You could do that with, I have so much conviction behind what I believe in this case that you could put me up on against anybody on any panel to discuss it. And I'm happy to. Unit, thank you so much. I've been watching you since you started covering the case. Us Boston folks appreciate you because you're authentic, no BS type guy. I really appreciate your coverage of this. Thank you. That means so much, Unit. I appreciate you. Thank you. But so they were like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not doing it. Like that in and of itself shows the kind of integrity that Court TV has. And just like I told them, I was like, and I'm not saying, I had nothing to do with their decision. They made this decision on their own, and rightfully so. I'm not trying to say that I had anything to do with their decision. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you the same point that I made to them, which was I've seen other YouTube creators that have been on Court TV, and at most, man, it's like a minor boost in your subscriber count. There's going to be people who just a handful of people that are going to go, oh, because there's no mods in the Court TV live going, subscribe to Mazza Media, subscribe to LTL. They're just at the end of the thing, they're going to go, your YouTube channel is called what? okay, cool. And then there's going to be just a handful of people who are just not lazy enough to fucking go look for it, you know? And that's if you left an impression. You know what I mean? So that's if they give you enough time to talk, they give you enough time to make your point. You know, it's not even like it's not that serious. Like it's you get to say you've been on court TV, dude. I'm telling you, you're not missing nothing. Dolly Vision's been on fucking court TV. That means fucking dick. That means nothing. Twattendoffer's been on court TV a bunch of times. That means fucking nothing. Who cares about being on court TV? You know? So good for them for sticking to their integrity and just seeing it for what it was and just being like, you know what? This is bullshit. You people fucking suck. Fuck you. You know? I'm not doing it. Good for them. Like, for me to even agree to go on any of those shows at this point, like, they would have to fucking have somebody up there that I am dying to address. Like, they would have to have Twattendoffer up there. They would have to have Plevin up there. I would love that. I would love that. Actually, Plevin's not good enough. It would have to be like Twattendoffer. It would have to be. And the thing is like, it'll never happen because I'm dying to give Vinny a piece of my mind. And I'm dying to give Julie Grant a piece of my mind. That'll never happen. They'll never invite me on that show. You know, and that's the thing is you have these people like Mazza and like Brian who would absolutely be 100% respectful. And they couldn't even give them the minimum respect and respect their privacy. The minimum of respect is respect of your privacy, dude. Seriously. Like, and they couldn't even grant them that. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you. We all have Jen McCabe's in our lives. The O'Keefes won't look the other way because they have been manipulated and brainwashed into a false narrative. Yeah, I mean, I believe that too. But, you know, at some point, at what point is it where you go, okay, like, you know what I mean? At what point do you go, okay, these people are fucking shady as fuck? Or maybe they're just afraid of them. You know, maybe they're just afraid of them. But man, good on Mazza and good on Brian LTL, man. Seriously.
Charges still stand against Karen Reed, which includes second-degree murder, but that could change during a retrial.
We also learned today the juror list will not be made public despite a state Supreme Court decision in 2015 that requires jurors.
Not shitting on one's belief, but I knew Court TV was on some weird shit when they had a self-proclaimed witch on to speak about the Delphi trial. Right. That's the thing, man, is Court TV. Make no mistake, man. Court TV is drama TV, dude. Okay? They're interested in the drama. That's it. That's it. They don't give a fuck about getting to the truth. They don't give a fuck about justice. They only give a fuck about putting out the drama and covering cases that have drama because the drama sells. That's it. They're just feeding the rats, bro. That's it.
Juror list to be released. There is a caveat to the rule when there is a risk of harm to the jurors.
Right, there is so much information to break down this case. We want to get right over to our NBC 10's Kirsten Glavin with a big breaking development tonight.
Kirsten, you just got new information about this lead state police investigator relieved of his duties. Break it all down for us.
Yeah, Trooper Michael Proctor was under an internal affairs investigation by his own department, and we now know he has been suspended. This comes after several jaw-dropping moments during this trial where he was asked to read aloud some of his vulgar and disturbing text messages about Karen Reed. Massachusetts State Police trooper and lead investigator in the Karen Reed murder trial, Michael Proctor, relieved from his duty effective immediately. State police confirming the action in a statement saying, quote, upon learning today's result.
Now, you see how they do that? Relieved of his duty immediately, but he's not relieved of his duty because you transferred him. What do you mean? He's not relieved of his duty. Relieved of his duty means he's suspended. With or without pay, whatever. But relieved of his duty means he's at least suspended, if not fired. And you see how the news spins that? They really emphasize that. They put that big old stamp on it. All across the screen, all diagonal. Bam! Relieved of his duty. You know? It's crazy, dude. Like, look at this shit.
The department took immediate action to relieve Trooper Michael, confirming the action in a statement saying, quote, the investigator in the Karen Reed murder trial, Michael Proctor, relieved from his duty effect trial. Michael.
Look at this shit. Like, look at this shit.
Investigator in the Karen Reed murder trial, Michael Proctor, relieved from his duty effective immediately. State police confirming the action in a statement saying, quote, upon learning today's result, the department took immediate action to relieve Trooper Michael Proctor of duty and formally transfer him out of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office State Police Detectives Unit. This follows our previous decision to open an internal affairs investigation after information about serious misconduct emerged in testimony at the trial.
I'm declaring a mistrial in this case.
The suspension coming just hours after a mistrial was declared. NBC 10 Boston investigators confronting Proctor at his house just before the announcement.
We'd like to ask you some questions. Do you
Get off
think
our
your
lawn.
actions impacted the outcome of the trial? I'm not on your lawn. I'm on the street. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Who's the never cracker now?
To come back.
The jury unable to determine a verdict after 5 days and more than 27 hours of deliberations. Last Monday, ending 29 total days of testimony, with the prosecution calling 68 witnesses in this case and the defense calling 6.
The deep division is not due to a lack of effort or diligence, but rather a sincere adherence to our individual principles and moral convictions.
This note delivered to Judge Beverly Cannoni from the jury, stating they've been deeply divided by fundamental differences and opinions. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office confirming they intend to retry the case. Outside of court, Reed's defense signaling this isn't the end.
This is what it looks like when you bring false charges against an innocent person. The Commonwealth did their worst. They brought the weight of the state based on spurious charges, based on compromised investigation and investigators and compromised witnesses.
Free Karen Reed supporters down the road telling NBC 10 Boston they're not going anywhere.
This case is a travesty of justice and a
Go, Rita.
justice. My initial expression was
Go, Paul.
Not guilty. But as we learned, this
love
case,
it.
nothing happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Oh, we'll be back. We'll be back. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've never met Karen, but I love Karen, and Karen could be any one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was no doubt an emotional day for John O'Keefe's family, his mother wiping away tears in court. They declined to comment, leaving the courthouse this afternoon. Now, as far as where we...
Well, not really, because you failed to cover the fact that John O'Keefe, or Paul O'Keefe, excuse me, basically threatened Karen Reed on the way out of the courtroom.
Go from here. There is a status hearing scheduled for July 22nd. The judge and attorneys for both sides will go over when this case could possibly be retried. We're live here in Dedham tonight. I'm Kirsten Glavin, NBC 10 Boston.
I mean, what'd I tell you? They didn't even talk about. Now, there's a couple of very telling things about this. They didn't even talk about Michael Proctor's shoddy investigation. Why wouldn't they do that? Why would they fail to do that? Why would mainstream media, a credible news source, fail to mention something very significant that was brought out during the trial that they streamed, that they aired live in real time. Why wouldn't they discuss the fact that there was all this? Now, I'm not saying they haven't, because Sue O'Connell has done an incredible job. Sue O'Connell has done an incredible job of updates and summaries after each day of the trial. But why, when they're informing the public and discussing Michael Proctor being transferred, why would they not discuss everything wrong with Michael Proctor and not just the unprofessional text messages that he sent to his superiors? And why not throw shade at them? Why make the Massachusetts State Police look really good right there? I mean, the pressure would come from the media, wouldn't it? The pressure to actually take real action. That would come from the media, would it not? That would be the most effective manner in which to get them to take some serious action. But there was no pressure from the media to do that. None at all. Leah M., thank you so much. Are Chris and Julie going to pose on the new Mr. Nevercracker's front lawn now with Bud Lights and doing the Canton salute and send pictures? Right, Leah M., exactly. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. And then another point is, why wouldn't, now I'm a little annoyed as to, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I'm a little annoyed that they cut out David Yannetti's public statements, because that was really inspiring. It was great. So I would have liked to have seen that there in that segment, but whatever. Why haven't we gotten a public statement from Lally? I mean, all he did, like, he was just quoted and saying that he plans on seeking more charges, but no comment as to how this that doesn't sound strange to you? That you don't even hear any news conglomerates saying anything like, we went to speak with Adam Lally and he declined an interview. I mean, you don't even hear that coming from these news sources. You know? You just got that weak quote. But why, if Adam Lally is so confident in his case, why is he not addressing the public? The very public that is that he represents. It is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts not the people? I mean, so why not address the very people who he represents in that courtroom, supposedly? Why not address the very people? See, to me, that tells me a lot about Adam Lally. It tells me a lot about the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. It tells me that they don't even believe in what they're doing. It tells me that they're not interested in justice at all. Because Michael Morrissey was so quick to go and record, edit, and release a public statement trying to exonerate the McAlberts from any public scrutiny, right? They did their best to do this. He did his best to do this and to make Karen Reed look guilty in the court of public opinion, did he not? While saying this case will not be tried in the public and on the internet, it'll be tried in the court of law. Yet everything else was basically painting Karen Reed out to be guilty in that public statement, right? But yet, for some strange reason, Adam Lally will not stand on those courthouse steps and address the public. Is it because he knows that the crowd out there is pro Karen Reed and he'd probably get booed? Maybe. But is that a good enough reason to at least not release a formal public statement as to what you intend to do as a representative of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in that very courtroom? Do you not owe the people something? If you're interested in getting justice, don't you owe the people who are looking for justice an explanation as to how you plan on getting that justice? That right there tells me that they're not interested in getting justice. It's very telling. Very telling. Suzanne says, and it's good to see you, Suzanne. Why did Morrissey put the Karen Reed case above the Brian Walsh case? His case against Karen Reed conflicts with everything he is using against Brian Walsh. Great point. I mean, it's very stupid. Like, that's another fear that I'm going to have out of all of this is how is this going to affect the Brian Walsh case? Because I believe 100% that he is guilty. I absolutely believe that he is guilty. I have no doubt in my mind, no doubt in my heart that Brian Walsh absolutely murdered his wife. And the very evidence that they plan on using against him, they tried to discredit in the Karen Reed case. Celebrite data. They made Celebrite data, or they tried to make Celebrite data basically unreliable. And this is going to be a problem. I cannot see this not being a problem in the Brian Walsh case. And that disturbs me. And what it tells me is that the defense's motion to disqualify Michael Morrissey's office from the Karen Reed trial and from the Karen Reed case, that in that motion, they said that it is apparent that Michael Morrissey's office is interested in winning, not justice. They want the win and not justice. This is a prime example of that. If they are planning to, let me word it differently. If they spent so much time, effort, and money on discrediting the very data, the very evidence, the very source of evidence that they're planning to use to prosecute and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Brian Walsh killed his wife, how is that going to affect that being presented to a jury? How is Brian Walsh's defense going to use that? Because if I were an opportunistic defense attorney, I would absolutely use that. I would absolutely use that. I would waste no time saying, didn't your office try to discredit this very source of evidence during the very high profile Karen Reed trial? If I was the defense, I'd try to pull the same shit. Oh, well, he didn't actually Google that. There was a wall, and then this and this and this and this and this happened. And so therefore, he didn't actually perform that search at that time. Calamity Jade, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm gutted over this. Shouldn't someone's fundamental morals and beliefs be chosen accordingly when choosing jurors? I think they were. I mean, you can't mind read. There are people who get chosen on juries and they do it on purpose and they know how to play the process. You know? Or, and I have no evidence of this, but considering the dirty tactics that Michael Morrissey's office, we know his office is capable of, it would make sense that somebody's name was leaked to the McAlberts who was on that jury, and there's only one person who would have been capable of doing that, and that would have been someone inside Michael Morrissey's office. Because they would be the only people that knew, either them or the defense. The defense isn't going to do it. And then once that information leaked out to the McAlberts, there was an intimidation that was applied. And then the McAlberts show up to the courthouse and sit in the courtroom on the very day of jury instructions, the very first day of deliberations, sitting there and facing the jury on that one day. Because if they got a hold of a juror's name, there's only one place they could have gotten it from. And that would be someone inside Michael Morrissey's office. And my money's on Adam Lally. So, but I don't know this. I don't know this. All I know is I find it extremely suspicious that this wasn't, yes, I'm going to say this out loud, and I want to be very clear when I say it. I find it highly suspicious that this was not a unanimous not guilty verdict, considering that this was the most insanely doubtful case that I've ever seen. I've never seen more reasonable doubt in a case in my life, and I've seen not guilty verdicts happen with infinitely less doubt. So I am, in my opinion, a day later of the opinion that it is suspicious. And I don't want to use that word loosely. I want to be very clear that that is the word that I am looking for. It is suspicious that that jury did not come to a unanimous not guilty verdict. I believe that with all of my heart. Common sense dictates this to me. Thank you, Mo. Or May. Mo. Sorry. Thank you, May.
I think I've been very clear, and I want to remain very clear. Misconduct in any way, shape, or form of the Massachusetts State Police will not be tolerated. I think I've said that I condemn those comments in the strongest terms possible. They are not reflective of the Massachusetts State Police. That's not where we want to be as an organization. And I believe that we will certainly continue to monitor that and as we are moving through the process of our internal affairs investigation. Again, due process, we are evaluating that, looking at it. We're going to continue to investigate it. We have, as you know, initiated an internal affairs investigation early on in this process. Part of that is to monitor the case that was ongoing. We wanted to make sure we had all the information available to us through the trial process. I also want to point out that trial process currently is unresolved, and we have an open internal affairs investigation. So I'm not really in a place where I'm going to comment on that any further. I will say very generally that we monitored the criminal trial in an effort to get as much information as possible, as it may or may not reflect on members of the Massachusetts State Police and their conduct. And we wanted to make sure we had all of that before we made a decision. We also wanted to respect the trial process, and we want to be mindful of the ongoing internal affairs investigation.
So, you spoke about policies and procedures. What changes have been made or will be made to ensure that something like this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, we're going to continue to look at this.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with you there, Albert. You're saying I don't think Bev was paying attention. Otherwise, she would have thrown this out the second Sallyport video came in, and then again with Proctor. Okay. Based on that comment, I'm going to assume that you probably weren't paying attention to the trial prior to the trial. And that's okay. That's totally cool. It awards me the opportunity to let you in on some facts about Judge Bev that you may not be privy to. This comment indicates to me that you may not be privy to them, even though you may be, but the comment indicates to me that you may not be. It's not that Bev wasn't paying attention. The thing about Beverly Cannoni is her brother represented Chris Albert in a vehicular manslaughter case in 1994, where Chris Albert killed a man with his car. Beverly Cannoni's brother represented Chris Albert in that case. The defense, early in pretrial, filed a motion for her to recuse herself. She denied the motion. She refused to recuse herself. So there's that. Then on top of that, every pretrial motion, I mean, there were so many pretrial motions from the defense because the prosecution, Adam Lally, failed to provide them with discovery, failed to provide the defense with discovery. And since he failed to provide them with discovery, she made orders for Lally to do so with deadlines. He did not meet those deadlines. And then in another pretrial hearing, she laughed about it. She joked about it. But then we saw how seriously she took it when Adam Lally filed the same type of complaint against the defense, which was bogus, by the way. And, she was putting the hammer down then, wasn't she? So there's a lot of suspicious behavior coming from Judge Beverly Cannoni. For the first reason that I named is why I find the rest of these things suspicious and not negligent. In your comment, in your super chat, you were implying that she wasn't paying attention. I say it's more than that. That's my opinion. But I appreciate you, man. Just saying, you may not be privy to those things. And that's why I'm saying that I'm not going to give her the benefit of the doubt that you're giving her, is all I'm saying. Andrew, thank you so much. Do you think the people who voted guilty just didn't want to believe their police are capable of cover-ups and are corrupt and made them biased to believing the reasonable doubt in the case and corruption? That's possible too. I just don't see people like that getting past jury selection. You see what I'm saying? That's why I find it suspicious. That's one of the reasons why I find it suspicious. That's a great question too, Andrew. I find it suspicious because I don't see someone with that perspective and that point of view and those type of convictions to have even gotten past jury selection. Thank you so much, Julie O. This isn't shocking after seeing the DAs bringing charges that are complete BS. Rittenhouse had video and it didn't matter. These DAs are trash bags. I agree. These DAs are trash bags. It's crazy. Like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Albert, thank you so much. You're right. I picked up really paying attention day 4 of the trial. Once I changed my thought from guilty to totally innocent due to details of car hit. Okay, cool. I love that too. And I love that somebody with that perspective is in the chat right now, because I find that interesting, because that tells me that the defense absolutely proved their case. The defense did exactly what they were supposed to be doing. So you actually did go into this more or less from the perspective of a juror. And I love that.
This, and we are hyper focused on that right now. We have been in a process for the past 16 months of evaluating places for improvement. We are very mindful that there are always improvements to be made on the Massachusetts State Police. We have drilled down and concentrated our efforts on 6 general areas, all that are reflective of what we do on a daily basis and how we are perceived in the public eye. We want to continue to make sure that we can provide the services to the public that they demand and deserve.
Wow, that's fascinating. I can't wait to piggyback off of that thought. Jen Melvin, thank you so much. Just jumped on. Did you really discuss the killer turtle hanging? Did you already discuss the killer turtle hanging in Aiden's parents' house? No, I plan on addressing that as well. I'm going to get to that. Thank you for bringing that up, because I am going to address that. So this dude is here talking about how let's people, let's hear that one more time, because I can't believe my fucking ears.
Down and concentrated our efforts on 6 general areas, all that are reflective of what we do on a daily basis and how we are perceived in the public eye. We want to continue to make sure that we can provide the services to.
Okay. That's interesting. That's fun. That's fun stuff, because this dude at no point, or was there even a question, in regards to how sloppily and how suspicious Michael Proctor's investigative tactics were in this case. Like, that's not even discussed. It's not even brought up. It's not even part of the reason. Like, they're not even addressing the fact that that's the reason why he's under internal affairs investigation in the fucking first place. That now, since it's brought up in trial, the balloon knot comment and all of the other disgusting shit he said about Karen Reed, that's the only thing that he's being reprimanded for? That's the only thing that they're addressing to the public that should be investigated? No, you're underestimating the public. The public demands that he answer for him conducting a very suspicious investigation into the death of a Boston police officer. That is what people are pissed off about. And the fact that he is avoiding addressing that at all is infuriating. Hey, Christine, thank you so much. As someone who lives in Massachusetts, I'm not happy that Turtle Boy, Brian Hale, Photography, and the Young Jerks are being targeted. These fake victims are pissing me off. Right. Dude, Brian Hale's such a nice guy, dude. He messaged me about something. I don't really know how to deal with what he's talking about. I can't even address it publicly, honestly. But it's a good thing. It's just that I don't know how to handle it. But yeah. Julio, thank you so much. People aren't smart. They have no comprehension of innocent unless proven guilty. Too often is stated as until proven guilty, which implies it's inevitable that the state will prove guilt. Right. That's a problem. That's a problem in the true crime, in the court of public opinion. That's a problem. People are always considered guilty before proven innocent. And that's an issue. That is why this support for Karen Reed was so important, because the likelihood of it happening is so slim, considering the details. God bless Turtle Boy for what he's done. I'm telling you. Albert Noorda, thank you so much. I believe fight accident turned murder turned cover-up turned evolving cover-up due to third strike for Brian Albert and saving Colin adult life. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure if I agree with you, but okay. And thank you, Albert. I really appreciate your support, buddy. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure I fully understand the comment there, but I mean, if you're saying that the cover-up evolved into what it is, well, yeah, most definitely, sure. But it's fascinating that they could that the umbrella of corruption spreads out so far that the corruption went this far, that the cover-up went this far, and it's still going. It's still happening. There's still another trial to be had, apparently. Insane. Like, it's insane. Like, Judge Bev should have dropped these charges a long time ago. This should have never even went to trial. She should have granted the motion to dismiss and disqualify when it was filed prior to this trial. She absolutely should have.
To the public that they demand and deserve. Those areas where we're concentrating most of our efforts now are, I could break them down and say that in no particular order: community trust, legitimacy, and engagement; diversity; culture as a standalone issue for the Mass State Police, examining that both externally and internally; training; leadership and wellness; and media and public relations. Those are the areas that we're focusing on and have been focusing on for the past 16 months. Well, I think we're gonna see additional scrutiny on all of these investigations as a result of what has come about in regards to the most recent trial, and we're prepared for that.
State police lacks public confidence, and what do you see as your ability to affect that? And related to that, what has the governor told you her expectations are for the agency she is expected to do?
Yeah, I think it's incumbent upon us to be in a continuous cycle of earning, maintaining public trust and legitimacy. That's we cannot do our job effectively without that. And we are hyper focused on being able to do that and conducting ourselves in a way that demonstrates that.
Dude, stop fucking saying hyper focused. First of all, you're not hyper focused on anything. The only thing that the public sees right now is that the people that work for the Massachusetts State Police are hyper focused on a suspect's ass and trash talking them. That's it. The only thing that people see that the Massachusetts State Police are hyper focused on is framing an innocent woman. That is the only thing that we see that you're hyper focused on. Just you saying words does not convince us. And the fact that you're not even holding anyone accountable, really. Because Michael Proctor being transferred to another precinct or another area is not going to stop him from destroying someone else's life. He played a part in destroying someone's life. Okay? This is a problem. This demands immediate attention. This is not even a slap on the wrist. You're not even punishing him. Yet you've got the entire media acting as though you're taking some sort of action when the rest of us are not stupid and we can see that you haven't taken any action at all. That's not taking action. Wow, Sarah No H gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Sarah No H. Sarah No. Thank you, Sarah No H. That is awesome. I appreciate it. Chloe Albert's revenge. He's hyper focused on a donut, right? Albert Nurda. Oh, I bet the next trial falls apart once more dominoes fall between now and when they pick a trial date. And maybe then those feeling guilty will see. Right on. I hope so too. But the only dominoes that this guy's watching is stuffed cheesy bread. That's it.
That we can do that and that we are worthy of trust. And as we move forward in this organization, we will be mindful of that, and we will be making sure that we're all doing our very best to show the public that we can be what they need us to be.
Have you been in touch with the feds and their investigation?
I'm not in a position really to say anything about anybody else's investigation. I will tell you that we are still actively involved because there is a trial process ongoing, and we are certainly actively involved in the internal affairs process.
How should we have the public's trust when you just see scandal after scandal?
Yeah, well, we have to take this head on. We have to be accountable to ourselves, to each other, to the rest.
You know why this is so fucking infuriating? Why this makes me so angry is because this dude is sitting here saying that they're saying all the right things that they're supposed to do, but not doing them. That's what's really annoying. He's saying all the right shit, just he's not doing any of it. We have to all be accountable for our actions. We have to all be accountable, but Who's being held accountable? Who? Kelly Carolyn, thank you so much. Born and raised and currently still living in Massachusetts. This by far is the most extreme. However, growing up, we always heard of corruption in every form of government. It's wide and deep. Sure. Hey, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's true. That's true. There's a lot of corruption, and it is wide and deep.
The residents and visitors to the Commonwealth, we have to look in the mirror. We have to be hyper-focused on making sure that we are professional and that we are in a continuous cycle of evaluation and improvement and refinement. And we need to work very hard to engage the public in a more meaningful way so that we can understand what it is that we need to do and where we want to go in order to maintain trust.
That's great. Whoever the fuck this guy is, John Maughan, Colonel John Maughan, I'd like to formally invite you on this show. And I'd like to invite you on this show to speak with Turtle Boy, Paul Cristoforo, and Rita Lombardi. I would love that panel here. That panel would be fucking fantastic. I would love that. I would love to have you four people on this panel so that they can tell you exactly what the public wants from the Massachusetts State Police.
In trust, build trust, and in some cases regain it. And I believe that those 6 fundamental areas that we're pushing forward are going to help us do that. I'm confident of it. Yeah, I know we were involved in that in a variety of ways. That is a Worcester Police Department investigation. It would probably be better to ask that question of them. We were in a support role. It's a role we find ourselves in frequently. Resource provider.
Shame on you, sir.
For the Worcester Police Department.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But now we're in a situation where we're between trials.
Right.
Do you anticipate taking action, making reforms before the next trial? And
now, I would have said Sean McDonough, but I don't want the guy to get scared off because I know Sean McDonough is going to be like, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm so fucking sick of you motherfuckers up here acting like you're cops. You're not fucking cops, okay? I was a fucking cop. Sean McDonough would fucking tear this guy apart within a second. And like, I don't want the guy to be like, all right, I'm leaving right now. I'm fucking leaving. I'm fucking out of here.
Well, I think in regards to the action we took, yesterday, the important piece for us was to continuously monitor the trial, to take the information provided during the pendency of that trial in-house in order to make the decisions that we made. We made the decisions we made yesterday based on things that we learned during the trial process and in other ways. I can't speak to the impact that it may have moving forward. I know that for us as an organization, we wanted to make sure we took appropriate and decisive action when we had as much information that would allow us to do that.
Lala, thank you so much. You sound pissed off enough that you sound like you are from Massachusetts. Thank you for your passion that doesn't just affect local justice. Word. No, man, like I'll be honest with you, man. Like my passion for this comes from just being an American patriot, you know? Not a New England patriot, an American patriot. I live in the United States of America. I was born and raised to appreciate this country. My mother is from the Dominican Republic, moved here, became a citizen, and did the best that she could as a Dominican woman in the 1970s, and did the best that she could with pride as an American. With pride. And she raised me and my brother the same way. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is something that, you know, like me and my brother, we're polar opposites. This is absolutely 100% true. We're polar opposites, but I'll tell you, the one thing that we have in common, and that comes from the home that we grew up in, is being an American patriot. That is a fact. That is undeniable. Nobody in my family would deny this. And I love this country so much, and I was raised to love my country so much that when I see something like this happening in any part of my country that I love so much, well, then it affects me just as much as it affects any of you, emotionally speaking. You know, and the fact that I don't live there and you do, and the fact that you guys live under this umbrella of corruption every single day, and you stand up and fight for it, simply just makes me grateful for you. Simply just makes me envious of you in the sense that you guys are so strong. It's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing. Again, I say it all the time. I'm going to keep saying it all the time. Never been more proud of being accepted into a community as much as this one. And just everyone being so passionate about this, and who live there locally are such an inspiration to me personally, you know, and I am grateful for it. So when you say, hey, you sound like you're, you know, because of how pissed you are, you sound like you're actually from here. Well, that's why I do. If I do, that's why. Because I have so much respect for you locals.
That, and we did.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, okay, that's it. All right, so then of course then of course there's this post. And Turtle Boy posted this yesterday. I didn't see it till tonight, or earlier this evening. And it says here, trigger warning, and please, yes, this is a trigger warning. Graphic images for educational purposes only. This morning, someone left a large murdered turtle hanging from a railing at my parents' house. It had a hole through its head. Worcester police are investigating. In November, someone sent flowers to my mother in my name. I later discovered it was the fake victim. That would be, you know who has threatened to go there multiple times. Today, she and another individual who has frequently contacted my parents were curiously late to their planned protest. And that being at Julie Grant from Court TV, platformed them on Court TV shortly after the turtle was discovered. The McAlberts frequently use these two to do their dirty work. That is a fact. And so, you know, they sent flowers to his mom. And it's just gross. These idiots. I mean, all of a sudden they show up and they're trying to get press, and Julie Grant gives them press, of course. And I won't even blow up the pictures of the turtle because it breaks my heart to see them. And it's really disgusting that people would do that. Now, I don't know if those people were responsible for that, but it sure as fuck, why wouldn't, you know, we're talking about somebody who threatened to drive to his house and perform an abortion with her children in the car in his driveway. I wouldn't put anything past someone like that. I wouldn't put anything past someone who would threaten to do something like that out loud. You know? So it's disgusting, you know? Yeah, of course. They're definitely just as entitled to counter protest. We talked about this yesterday. I absolutely still express I still support their First Amendment right, but their First Amendment right does not include hanging turtles, dead turtles from a railing on someone's parents' property. So no, that shit's not okay. Nobody's arguing that they can counter protest. And yeah, that could absolutely be viewed as a threat, you know? That could absolutely be interpreted as a threat. Incredible. It's just incredible what these people are capable of. Yeah, it should be investigated. I mean, how's that any different than boiling a fucking rabbit on someone's stove? You know what I mean? It's the same goddamn thing. You know? Why? How is that any different? I want my MTV old. Oh man, you know what? Like on Roku, you can like watch like Vivo, like on live TV Roku. There's a Vivo 80s channel, man, where like they just show 80s videos, and I'm like, fuck yeah. I just leave that on when there's nothing to watch. And it's just like having MTV back in the 80s. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, like nobody's doing that. Like nobody here's doing that. Like you know what I mean? I'm not doing that shit. I don't condone that kind of shit. You know? Like it's incredible. I mean, it's got to be a felony. Like, who's to say they didn't murder that fucking turtle? You know, that's crazy. Like, I mean, like you shouldn't even do that shit at all, right? But I mean, you had to go as far as to use a real turtle. Like, you couldn't send your message with a fake turtle. You had to actually kill a real turtle to do that. You know what I mean? Like, even though it still would have been wrong, you could have hanged some fucking cartoon stuffed turtle from a fucking noose, just tied the noose. It would have sent the same message. You know, you had to kill a fucking turtle. Assholes. Shitbags, man. Dude, like if I found out who fucking did that shit, dude, you know what I mean? Like if I got a hold of the person who actually did that, oh my God, dude. I would look, you know? Dude, just fucking hurting innocent animals. Yeah, it is the same as the boiled rabbit. It's absolutely the same as the boiled fucking rabbit. It's just as bad. So anyway, listen. The a while back I did that live stream with Susan Constantine, who's a body language expert. Take that for what you will, you know. But it was really interesting and I enjoyed the conversation. But it was unlisted simply because initially it was a fundraiser for Karen Reed's defense. And we raised a good amount of money thanks to Nick Rocco, who set it up. And it is now public. So now you can just watch it if you want. But it's now available to the public and it's cool. But disclaimer, guys, just know that before Susan Constantine did not know how crude and how deplorable my humor is and how immature and how tacky my humor is. It's not indicative of her brand. Okay, so it's very important that you guys know that. Had she known, and I want to make this disclaimer for her benefit, because the last thing I want to do is to have her brand tarnished in any way. But had she known that I was so crude and I ran the channel the way that I do, she would have never agreed to do the live stream. So just so you guys know, I don't want you guys to watch that and then confuse that she actually approves of my channel, because it would not be it would not be indicative of her brand. So just make sure that you guys know that her brand must stay intact, because one must absolutely acknowledge Susan Constantine's moral superiority over my own. Very important that we do that. So, but watch it and enjoy, okay? Because it is there and it's available, okay? Anyways, guys, I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. You guys are fucking fantastic. I love you guys very much. It's great to hang out with you guys again. I'm going to do my best to go live again tomorrow. We'll find more stuff to talk about, more stuff to discuss, more stuff in the works. I have some special guests kind of in the conceptual phases. And so hopefully that works out pretty quickly. And yeah, that's going to be it. Guys, I do love you guys very, very much. You're fantastic. Please hit the subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you guys for subscribing if you are. And please hit the like on your way out. It's free and it really helps me out. And thank you guys for all of the support. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I love you guys very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.